Giving us a bird's eye view without ever leaving the ground is what drone cameras have been doing for years. So let's dive into the videos from this gadget that will blow your mind. I am talking about lost cities, magical landscapes, ghostly encounters, and much more. So without making you wait anymore, let's get to it. Number 1. Temple. American scientist and explorer Albert Lynn has been on a mission to investigate lost cities around the world. He combines modern technology and historical expertise to uncover the secrets of once bustling places. His latest quest led him to the ruins of Khirbet ed-Dari in Jordan, where the remains of a magnificent Nabatean temple stand. For the first time, Lynn used drones to get a complete scan of these ruins. Putting together all the information, he was able to reconstruct the possible appearance of this temple. Archaeologists agree this temple was dedicated to a deity, but which god or goddess remains a mystery. Lynn's creative use of drones can reveal hidden features that might have been missed by the traditional methods. Number 2. Bone Pit. Amateur archaeologists launched their drone over the holiday island of Gran Canaria, hoping to find something interesting. What they captured was beyond their wildest dreams. A cave full of bones. It was like hitting the archaeological jackpot. They quickly alerted the experts, and when they explored the cave, they were stunned to discover more than 70 skeletons, including 10 newborns. These bones, dating back to 800 to 1000 AD, belonged to the Guanche civilization. While there are many burial sites in Gran Canaria, none had the remains of infants like this one. The discovery was so surreal that when the amateur archaeologists shared the pictures of the cave taken by their drone, people called it a hoax. That's when you know you have really found something extraordinary. Number 3. Mount Popa. A giant plug jutting out of the side of the Mount Popa is very dramatic looking, but what makes it more fascinating is the monastery perched on top of it. This isn't just a cool geological feature. It's a sacred site for worshippers of spirits called gnats. Legend has it that 37 gnat spirits live on Tang Khalat, and there are even statues of them at the base of the climb up to the monastery, which has 777 steps. Pilgrims place their offerings to the gnat spirits as they ascend. While the hike to the monastery might seem fun, it is also home to monkeys notorious for stealing anything they can grab. So, I am perfectly happy admiring it from a drone's view. Number 4. Deformed Whale. Sailors off the coast of Spain spotted a giant creature lurking near their boat in the cool waters. Curious, they sent up their drone, and what they found left them speechless. A 55-feet-long fin whale appeared to be entangled in a fishing net, struggling to swim. But there was no net in sight. When experts were alerted and examined the whale, they realized there was no entanglement at all. The whale had a severely deformed spine known as scoliosis. Was it born this way, or was it injured by a ship strike? That remains a mystery, but discovering such a massive creature with this condition was a once-in-a-lifetime find. Number 5. Spinning Platform. Frozen rivers are already a majestic sight, but throw in a spinning ice circle and you have got something truly unreal. These slow rotating circles form naturally when moving water breaks off a chunk of ice and sets it spinning. As it spins, it bumps into surrounding ice, smoothing into a perfect circle over time. This phenomenon happens worldwide, but people in China take it to the next level. They jump onto the spinning ice, treating it like a natural platform. Sometimes, dozens of people get on, and it still keeps rotating. This is the kind of unique experience everyone should have at least once in their life. Number 6. Town under a rock. Living under a rock usually means being out of touch, but who knew living under a rock literally could be so cool? I am talking about Setenil de las Bodegas, a charming Spanish town with a hilltop castle, delicious food, and a unique twist. The whole town is kind of built under rocks. Over the centuries, people carved their homes into the cliffs, saving on ceiling costs. But this wasn't just about resourcefulness. It was about staying cool in summer and warm in winter. Strolling through these shaded streets on a hot day must feel amazing. No wonder tourists flock here to experience life under the rocks. Number 7. Fairy Valley. Let's dive into a valley that looks like it's straight out of a fantasy novel. Wangxian Valley in China will make you question if it is a real place or just a dream. Originally an abandoned mine, the government transformed it into a magical tourist attraction, blending natural beauty with historic architecture. One look at it, and you will understand why people also call it a fairy valley. Millions visit every year to experience the stunning light shows and stay in houses hanging on the cliffs. Yes, these cliffside structures are open for tourists. This valley is a perfect example of how natural beauty and human creativity can create a place so magical that it's hard to believe it even exists. Number 8. Rhone and Arve. When a smaller river meets a bigger one, it usually loses its identity, but not the Arve River. Arve originates in the French Alps. Its fast flow makes the water carry a significant amount of sediment, giving the water a muddy appearance. When it meets the clearer waters of the Rhone River in Geneva, Switzerland, the striking contrast creates a stunning visual of two different colored waters flowing side by side. Eventually, the waters mix, but the view at the confluence point is simply breathtaking. Number 9. Pink Lake. Looks like the Pink Panther finally found a place to practice his watercolors, right? This surreal drone view of the Pink Lake, which can be found in multiple locations across Australia, is stunning. But what gives them their pink hue? Well, scientists aren't entirely sure yet. They think it's probably due to the presence of unique algae and halobacteria that produce a special pigment. What's even cooler is that you can take the water out in a container, and it still remains pink. These lakes highlight Australia's unique and diverse natural beauty, while also serving as important ecological sites. Number 10. Tribute. During COVID travel restrictions, an Australian farmer couldn't attend his aunt's funeral, so he came up with a unique idea to say goodbye. He scattered grain across his field in a heart shape and released his flock of sheep. Thousands of sheep formed a massive heart on the ground, which he recorded from his drone. Number 11. Migration display. Can you guess what's that black lining across the shore? A big net? An oil spill? Nope, it's millions of mullet fish migrating. They do this twice a year, heading south to warmer waters in the fall and returning north in the spring. Sometimes, thousands of schools of mullet stretch for miles, swimming close to shore and creating a churning effect in the water. They migrate mainly for spawning, increasing the chances of survival for their young in warmer winter waters. But their journey isn't easy. For predators like tarpons and sharks, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet with minimal effort. And if the aquatic threats aren't enough, birds and human anglers also join the hunt. Watch as a tarpon slices through the dark mass, creating mesmerizing visuals as it spins. Number 12. Dominoes. Destruction is often seen as tragic, but sometimes it's necessary to create something new and better. Take these 15 unfinished and abandoned buildings in China that had to be taken down to make way for better things. In just 45 seconds, all the buildings came down one after another like a domino effect, and a massive dust cloud took over the whole neighborhood. They used over 4.5 tons of explosives and around 85,000 detonation points in the buildings to bring them down in such a spectacular manner. Number 13. Sinkhole. A guy chilling outside his home heard a loud bang. When he turned around, he saw a huge sinkhole in the backyard of his elderly neighbor. He went over to give them the good news about their new swimming pool and the bad news that it was swallowing their entire backyard. It turns out their property sits on what used to be a mine from the early 20th century. The sinkhole formed because an exploratory shaft dug by miners had collapsed. The miners never properly recorded it, and now the ground was giving way. Number 14. Ascend struggle. This drone captured a heartwarming moment of a mama bear and her cub climbing a steep, snow-covered hillside. But then, a heart-stopping moment occurred when the cub slid down the hillside. Fortunately, it stopped before going too far and started climbing back up to its mom. Just a few meters from the top, the cub slid down again while the mama bear watched her cub struggle desperately. The cub started climbing once more and almost made it to the top. But then, the drone pilot decided to get closer. The buzzing sound of this mysterious creature startled the mother, and in fear, she tried to reach her cub quickly, causing the cub to slide down again. After much struggle, the drone pilot wisely kept a greater distance, and the cub finally made it to the top, reuniting with its desperately waiting mom. They walked away together. What an incredible show of resilience and determination by the young one. Number 15. Human-shaped village. Centripeau, a town dating back 2,500 years, is rich in archaeological remains and ancient history. What makes it fascinating is its shape, resembling a giant man lying down in the rugged landscape with arms and legs spread apart. This small village has only 5,000 residents. We can say that it is really a village on a human scale. You might think it was built this way, but nope. This is all Mother Nature's doing, a product of erosion and small-town expansion over centuries. At night, the town lights up, looking more like a starfish. Interestingly, just like a starfish with its brain and main organs in the center, this town developed from its center outwards in 5 directions. Number 16. Lost Tomb. Turkey boasts numerous archaeological sites, but one of the most bizarre is the Kappalikaya rock tomb. From a distance, it looks like a giant door carved into the arm of a mountain near the town of Lasin. Believed to be over 2,000 years old, this mysterious tomb is actually a cube-shaped building with an arched top, cut out of the mountain with only a few points attaching it to the rock. It's mind-blowing to imagine how they managed to carve such a massive structure in such a remote location without any modern tools. You can walk all around the tomb, but the actual grave is inside a small opening high on the face of the structure. Outside the entrance, an inscription reads, Iketsios, but no one knows what it means or who this person was, adding to the tomb's enigma. The back of the tomb has been damaged by people breaking the rock, likely searching for treasure. No one knows if they found anything. Number 17. Door to Hell. In the harsh and unforgiving Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan exists a natural gas crater that has been burning for more than 40 years. Darvaza gas crater, also known as the Gates of Hell, is around 70 meters wide and 30 meters deep, with hundreds of flames flickering across its rim and bottom. Some believe the crater formed naturally, while others say it collapsed during Soviet drilling operations in the 1970s. They accidentally tapped into a natural gas cavern and set it on fire to prevent the spread of poisonous gas. At night, when darkness takes over the desert, the crater becomes even more eerie. Number 18. Harihar Fort. Located in Maharashtra, India, a historical fort located on top of a triangular mountain with steep cliffs on all 3 sides is not for the faint-hearted. The fort's charm lies in its approach, a steep staircase carved directly into the rock face at a whopping 8-degree angle. Climbing up is no easy task, challenging your physical limits every step of the way. Handholds are carved into the rock for support, but that doesn't make it much easier. After more than an hour of trekking, reaching the fort rewards you with stunning views. However, don't expect a castle. The fort itself is just ruins with remnants of structures like cisterns, gateways, and outposts to explore. So, if you get the chance, would you dare to hike here? Number 19. Sleeping Beauties. In 2021, a herd of a dozen adult elephants and 3 calves began migrating from their natural habitat in China. The local government kept a close eye on these giants to ensure their safety, close roads, and warn people about their travels. After more than 15 months of trekking through not only forests, but also the city streets, a drone captured an incredible sight: the herd taking a well-deserved rest. These Asian elephants were already famous for their wandering, but seeing them napping in the forest left everyone around the world in awe. Number 20. Destroy a rock. On January 21, 2014, a few rocks detached from an almost vertical rock cliff at Tramin, South Tyrol, Italy, and slid down the field. The drone captures the eerie aftermath. At first, nothing seems out of the ordinary, but then you see the size of the rocks and the damage on the other side. One huge rock destroyed a 300-year-old barn, while another, even bigger rock, stopped just a few yards from a house, narrowly missing a car. Imagine having a good day in the field and suddenly seeing a 12-meter wide rock rolling through your beloved barn. Fortunately, no humans or animals were harmed. Number 21. Husky with bears. A Russian Laika dog looking to hang out with a pack ended up with an unexpected group: bears. Surprisingly, things went in their favor. The dog joined a bear family and playfully walked alongside them. At first, the bears were curious about the dog, stopping to examine the excited furry creature and even standing on their legs to get a proper look. Then, they let it hang around. The dog jumped around, playfully nibbled at them, and followed the leader. As they got more comfortable, the drone captured an unusual sight: the dog and a bear wrestling each other. They continued to catch up with the leader, with the dog jumping on top and the bear using its paws to pin the dog down. Definitely a rare and adorable scene. Number 22. Car park. This isn't a scene from a video game where you can fly your car. It's real-life drone footage from Chile capturing a jaw-dropping accident. The video shows the pathway of the car, which came careening down a hillside and landing on a school roof almost 100 meters away. How fast was that driver going? It's anyone's guess. Seeing the car perched there after all the chaos definitely brings to mind the "you can't park there" meme. They had to use special machinery to get the car down. Imagine trying to explain that one to your insurance company. Number 23. Ricefield Art. When humans get creative, anything can become a canvas, even rice fields. In Japan, rice paddy art has been a thing for centuries. It started with simple patterns and shapes, but now artists create giant characters and famous paintings. Artistry isn't just about making the drawing. Artists strategically plant different colored rice varieties, considering how they will look at every growth stage, so the art remains vibrant until the field is harvested. And what's even cooler is that this art doesn't harm the fields. It's actually beneficial. Number 24. Bow Fiddle. Crovey is the perfect place to soak in sea views and enjoy fresh air. But near the charming man-made cottages, there's a natural formation that captivates visitors: the Bow Fiddle Rock. This rock formation, resembling the top of a fiddle bow, got its name from its unique arch shape, sculpted by millions of years of erosion and waves. Kayaking through that hole must be a beautiful experience. While we can't do that, the drone flies through the hole, giving us a first-hand view of how it feels. Number 25. Chimp Attack. While filming the chimpanzee enclosure at Royal Burgers Zoo, one chimp wasn't too happy about the buzzing device spying on its private life. Standing on a branch, armed with a twig, the chimp prepared for battle. As the drone got closer, the chimp attacked, taking it down with precision. It's incredible how intelligent these creatures are. The chimp carefully positioned itself and used a twig instead of its hands, ensuring it wouldn't get hurt. Once on the ground, the chimps inspected the drone, first checking if it was edible. After some amusing selfies, they left the drone alone and walked away. Number 26. Turtle Tank. Small drones are easy to maneuver, making them dangerous weapons in war. Ukraine has been using them effectively against Russian tanks, so in late 2021, Russia started welding metal cages over their tanks to protect them from drone attacks. I'm not sure how effective these turtle tanks are, but they look like something a 5-year-old might build. Some Western analysts jokingly have dubbed them as emotional support armor. War is definitely not cool, but it is kind of funny to see how, despite all our advanced engineering, sometimes the military has to resort to some pretty basic stuff for protection. Number 27, Ancient Road. This is Panlong, an ancient winding road in northwest China. In just a small stretch of 30 kilometers, it has over 600 sharp turns, twisting and turning up and down the mountains. Driving here is a thrilling experience, but only if you are a seasoned driver with a reliable vehicle. It might look weird and complicated, but it's actually an engineering marvel that facilitates passage through the rugged landscape. Just looking at its dramatic twists and turns is enough to give you motion sickness. Number 28. Pile up. Driving on a snow-covered highway is no easy task, and trying to rush through it is not the smartest thing to do. The cars stuck on Interstate 94 between Popa and Matawan in Michigan are a perfect example of why. Number 29. Stuck. It started off like any other morning for this group of students and their teacher, making their way to school across a steep valley in northern Pakistan via a cable car. But midway through the ride, one of the cables snapped, leaving all 8 people dangling hundreds of meters above the ground. A drone captured the terrifying moments, as these people feared these might be the last moments of their lives. Extreme winds and the rugged landscape made it too dangerous for local authorities to continue with a helicopter rescue operation. It could snap the last cables holding the cable car. The rescuers, risking their own lives, zip-lined to the cable car and brought all the passengers to safety. After 14 long hours, all 8 people were rescued. Going to school will always be a terrifying experience for these people now. Number 30. Heroes. On May 16, 2020, brave firefighters were battling a fire that broke out in a locked building. Things took a terrifying turn when they started hearing a high-pitched sound and rumbling. Realizing this was not a good sign, supervisors called for everyone on the roof and inside to get out quickly. But before they could reach safety, boom! A massive explosion occurred, and a fireball engulfed dozens of firefighters. Shouts for Mayday echoed everywhere. Fortunately, these heroes, with their helmets melting and coats burning, managed to escape the inferno. They sustained injuries, but were all okay later. Turns out, the building had a small factory that was illegally making hash oil for vape pens using highly flammable butane. The firefighters had no idea such substances were inside and walked straight into the danger. It's such a dangerous job. These people deserve all the recognition in the world. And that brings our journey through fascinating drone videos to an end. Which clip did you find the most amazing? And is there something specific you would like to see in the future? Let me know in the comments. Also, before you go, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and press the little bell icon so you get notified every time we post a new video just for you. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.